we've got a few of our student athletes that need to get back to a class. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you all to the Cardinal Sports Luncheon. Our facilities guys were here earlier. They kind of ate and ran. Coach Merrill, Laurel Hobbick, Cheryl Stang, Walt Holt, Eric Levins, Angie Williams is first time, and our William Jewell College admissions staff is over here today. So thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Yesterday, some of you may not know, was another signing date, our last signing date. We sent out 30 NLIs between baseball, softball, volleyball, swimming, men's and women's basketball. We've had 12 of them returned and signed with the full expectations of getting all 30 back, which as of right now brings our total to 88 signed or deposited committed athletes to come to William Jewell. And our goal is somewhere around the 110, 115 mark to kind of give you an idea. So I think things are going exceptionally well there, and throughout the summer we'll fill those remaining spots. Our next and final Cardinal Sports Luncheon to put on your calendar is May 16th. May 16th during finals week. So I hope you can bring a friend with you the next time you come. That'd be great. Our tennis team, Coach Worstel, is in Indianapolis right now at the GLVC tournament. So they're competing in the conference tournament today and tomorrow, and obviously depending on how they do, the longer they'll stay. Our swimming coach, Coach Gohl, couldn't make it today. He's on daddy duty. Couldn't find a babysitter, so he has to stay home and watch his little girl. But Coach is in the middle of signing his recruiting class, and his kids are in there doing their off-season workouts. We're gonna. Some of you may not know, I have been named the interim men's golf coach for the semester. It's been a blast. I haven't done a whole lot. Coach Cole has taken care of a lot of the practicing, but I've been traveling with the guys. We went to Missouri Valley Invite. We were in Indianapolis last weekend, and we're heading back to Indianapolis tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for the conference tournament. So what I've done is I brought one of our men's golfers, Grant McNeely, who plays in our 1-2 slot in the 1 through 5 lineup. Just kind of depends on the day and how well he's playing or how well our other individuals playing. I'm going to have Grant come up here and talk. Don't hesitate to ask him some really tough, important questions and get him to think a little bit. So let's give a good applause to Grant McNeely.
Hi, I would like to thank Joel for inviting me to speak in front of you guys. Like he said, my name is Grant McNeely. I am a junior. My major is psychology, and I'm thinking about a minor in communication. And I guess the reason I chose Jewell was, I live very close to here. I went to Oak Park and Staley High School, so about 15 minutes, 10 minutes down 152. So just growing up, I went to Larry Hawley basketball camps, and plus I had some teachers and coaches growing up that played at Jewell and were athletes at Jewell, and they had big influences on my school and my athletics, and they're all great people, so I thought Jewell was a great fit. Other than that, my plans after I graduate, I'm looking at graduate school in psychology. I don't know exactly where, but I want to go into either clinical or child psychology, child developmental psychology. Other than that, I've enjoyed playing golf here so far, just working hard to get better, helping my team get better so we can be competitive in our new conference. Any questions? Sure.
What's the best piece of advice Coach Luke has given him? What's the best coaching thing to do?
Ooh. That's a tough one. I guess to so far he set an example to always be prepared. Always, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late, kind of deal. So that's the best thing that he's given to me. So yeah. My lowest score in competition. I just did that this last weekend on the final round at Indianapolis. It was 71, 1 under. So, thank you. Yeah. To just make sure you have you go and at least have one lesson with a professional, just to make sure you have your fundamentals down, your grip, just alignment, and just to be patient, because it's the first couple, times going out there are going to be a little bit frustrating. So, yeah. Anything else? That's a tough one. I think there's a couple that come to mind. I had the chance over the summer to go to a World Golf Championship in Akron, Ohio, and I saw Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Lee Westwood, a number of golfers. I think Tiger is just amazing in general because of what he's done, and just the persona and the presence he has on the golf course. Just everybody gravitates towards that. But I spent a good 2 hours just watching Tiger and all the guys on the range just practice. You can learn a lot just from that. So, yeah, some of those guys, definitely.
How many hours do you practice?
Ooh, I'd say a day, anywhere from at least 2.5 to 3 per day. Generally every day. We have a set time during weekdays that we can practice, and then it's up to us on the weekends, sort of what we do. So you have to keep it up because you can get rusty really fast. So, yeah. Thank you.
We're actually talking on the way back from Indianapolis. He was the one that was keeping me awake on the 8.5-hour trip. And we did a lot of compare and contrast between baseball swings and golf swings. And Grant came to the conclusion that I still have a baseball swing even when I'm playing golf, which would explain my 30 to 40-yard slice that I have if you ever played with me. Next up is Coach Eisenhower, and he's going to talk about track and field, outdoor track and field, and he's also brought an athlete with him. So let's give it up for Coach Eisenhower.
Thank you guys all for coming today. It's another beautiful day here in Liberty, Missouri. I think it's about 90 degrees outside, sunshine. So those of you watching on the webcast, you're missing out. Really, though, I wish that was the truth. It's been a rough spring for us as far as weather goes, but that's the Midwest, and we're not the only ones dealing with it. However, we were pretty fortunate enough on Saturday. We hosted our Darrell Gorley Open, which is our lone college home meet of the year. That day, temperatures got near 70 degrees, very little wind, so just about perfect weather for a track meet. Had about 10 teams in competition. The women's team came away with a third-place overall finish. The men finished in 8th place. We had a stadium record set by Jess Connery in the 1,500-meter run. It's also a school record, but she ran that race in 4:46. Maggie Swenson set the school record in the women's 400-meter dash, running 57.94. And Jessica Borey won the pole vault, hitting the national provisional mark, jumping 3.51 meters, which converts to about 11.6, 11.7. So great day for the ladies. The men still had a great day, didn't show as well, didn't have the big hitters that the ladies did, but a lot of PRs were set that day, a lot of season bests were set that day, so very pleased with how the teams are doing. This week, tomorrow, we host the Larry Hamilton's Jewel Relays, which is a high school meet named in honor of longtime head coach Larry Hamilton. And then on Saturday, we will go to Missouri S&T to face some conference competition, really for the first time of the season. Missouri S&T will be there. Obviously, they're hosting it. Truman State, who's a future GLVC member, will be there. Maryville will be there. And McKendree will be there as well. So we do have a few kids going to KU this week. Tonight is the Distance Carnival, and we've got Kyle Gillette will be there. Uriah Hetty will be there. Josue Villarreal and Jess Connery. Actually, our assistant coach, Justin Gerard, will also be competing in the 5,000-meter run there. And then we've got Clint Edier and Maggie Swenson going tomorrow to compete in the 400. And then on Saturday, we've got Troy Fletcher and Nick Cascio competing in the discus throw on Saturday at the Kansas Relays. So you've heard enough from me. So Coco, if you want to come up, and please feel free to ask her lots of questions.
Hello, my name is Codenesa. I'm a junior at Jewel. I run track. I'm a sprinter. My events are the 2 and the 4. My major is music, vocal performance with a communication minor, and I love to run. Well, just last week at the home meet, I ran my fastest open 200 and fastest open 400, 26.3. I'm hoping to break the record either next weekend or the weekend after that. I'm not that far away. I think I'm about half a second, so I'm really excited about it and really ready to run fast. Originally, I'm from Haiti, but I live in Gladstone, Missouri, which is like 15 minutes away from here. I don't know. I've been thinking about grad school, but that might not happen. When I first decided to be a music major, I wanted to sing. I wanted to travel the world and sing. But during the summers, I volunteer at a homeless shelter. They're a camp that they have in the Ozarks, and I kind of just got a passion for teen girls, and I just really want to work with them. So that might be something that I do, or I might do it both. Whatever really comes my way, I'm open to anything.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Like Coach Lucan said, my name is Dustin Combs. Here in my 7th season with the softball program, and we are actually winding down our season. We actually play 12 games in the next 8 days, beginning on Saturday. All conference games with a lot of implications. We currently are 22-13 in season and 13-6 in conference. So these next 12 games in conference will be quite a challenge. All but 2 of those 12 games are on the road, so we're going to have to play well on the road. And currently we sit 2nd place. So the way our sport works is the top 3 schools from both sides qualify automatically, and then there's an at-large bid. So we need to be in the top 3 and continue to play well throughout these next 12 games, and hope to get in the postseason and make a little run. I brought today with me a freshman from Adelaide, South Australia, Annalie Dolman. I'll let her tell you more about herself.
Hi, so as Coach said, my name's Annalie and I'm from Adelaide, South Australia. So yes, I am from South Australia, and no, I do not sound like Steve Irwin, which has been noted out quite a few times. I came to Jewel because I had already started university at home, and uni in Australia is very different to what it's like here, and university at home did not suit me at all. So I dropped out of university, and I was thinking, I'm not sure what I want to do. I then found out that I could come play softball in America while going to college, and I thought that that would be a great opportunity, and it's something that a lot of people never have the chance to say that they've been able to do: travel the world, study, and play the sport that you love. So I took this upon myself to find out as much information as I could about what I needed to do to get myself to America. And I had the help from a family friend from home who had previously been to America, and he got me in contact with some friends who he had. So that's how the ball started rolling, and I came in contact with Coach Combs, and the connection just went off straight away. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversations. He described Facebook to me and what it was, and I turned around and I said, I live in Australia, not on the moon. So that was quite interesting. Yeah, I've loved every minute of being at Jewel. The campus suits me perfectly. I live in one of the dorms, one of the freshman dorms, so I love everything about this school. And at the moment, my plans are to continue with my degree, so I'm looking at getting a degree in secondary education and also physical education, and I would like to minor this with the performance and coaching minor, although this isn't a combination at the moment, but it will be by the end of my degree, I've been told. And hopefully also a minor in business, so I've jam-packed my schedule full of credit hours. And then after that, I'm looking at doing a master's in teaching, because ideally for me, I would love to coach at college level, but this also requires me teaching as well. But I love coaching, I love teaching, so this is exactly what I want to do and where I want to be, so I love it here. And at the moment, I'm not actually going home until Christmas, so everyone's like, oh, how are you coping being away from your family? But for me, it's not a huge thing. I've been FaceTiming family at home, so I've still got the contact there, but I love it here. I've fit in with the team quite well. I like to think I've fit in with the team quite well. The girls are all really lovely. We all get along really well. There's no conflict in our team, which has been the best experience ever, coming from teams before that previously haven't quite got along. So I love it. Our team, we all just get along so well. They're all just like sisters, which is good, but sometimes you see the sides that it's just everyone has. So I've loved it. Has anyone got any questions?
So your I'm trying to say, why should I go away from college? Just say it down.
I say because it is an amazing school. The campus is fantastic. The teachers are amazing. They all put in a second effort for everything. There is nothing, they don't hold back on anything. If you ask for extra help, they are always willing to give you that help. From a softball perspective, so for my softball friends at home, I would say this is the best program I have ever been involved in. The coaching staff is amazing. They'll put in all the effort under the, anything they can do for our team, they will do it. We eat at really nice places. We sleep at really nice places. There's nothing lacking from our program, so that's what I would say. Although I'd also say maybe don't come while I'm here, because I like being the only Australian on campus. It was huge. I personally don't really follow golf, but I got behind it all the way, so posted it on my Facebook page quite a lot. It was all in my newsfeed as well. Everyone at home was kind of very proud of that, so I think at home it was publicised quite a lot as well in the news and stuff like that, so that, yeah, was pretty big. Is there any other questions?
Hey, would you talk a little bit about the level you were playing at in Australia before you came here, the teams you were playing on there?
Okay, so in Australia, I had been playing softball since I was 7 years old. The format of our softball programs is nothing like, we don't have college level sports. We all play in clubs, and I've tried to describe a club format to the softball girls here, and they've said it's like a travel ball program. So you play, you're in your club, but you stay at the same club for your whole life. So I went through junior programs, and then in Adelaide you can start playing seniors when you're 12 years old. So on my 12th birthday I played my first seniors game, and then from then on I continued playing at senior level for club level. I also played through high school, but high school is not a very competitive scene at all. Some people play like high school sports, but high school is an opportunity for kids to just try whatever they want. So through high school I also did track and field, basketball, swimming. I tried cricket as well, which I'm sure you guys don't really know much about cricket. Besides from that, I'd been playing at state level, so each of the states in Australia, they select their best team, which is like 16 girls, and then we compete interstate. So I've travelled all around Australia. I've been to every state to compete for softball. So yeah, we have state level as well. So I did junior years of that. I've done under 16 level, under 19, and then I've played open level as well. So in Australia, I was literally playing against the best of the best women. So all the girls that go to when the Olympics was on, the women that went to the Olympics, the women that went to the Canadian Cup last year and came third in the World Series. So that was kind of cool as well, because I would play club softball against one of the starting pitchers for Australia and the starting catcher, so that was an awesome experience. I've also played at Australian level, so I've represented Australia in the school sport level and also in the under-19 Australian squads. I made my first Australian squad when I was 13 years old, and that was for the under-19 team. So I was 4 years younger than the oldest person in that squad, but that was a development program working towards the World Series for us. So, yep, that's how much I played at home, and I also coached 7 days a week when I was at home as well. So I've also coached at state level. I play outfield. So at Jewel, I play right field, but coming from Australia, I was playing for so long and in so many different teams, I've literally played every position on the field. But for me, my passion is outfield. I love playing in the outfield, so I love where I'm at here. So it's good.
Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate the support that you guys give our student athletes. Give you a little bit of a baseball update. The weather is really not cooperating this year. I know we say that every year, but this year it really is not cooperating well at all. I believe it's probably an accurate statement to say that we practice on the turf more than football and soccer combined, which is probably a good hint for us to get turf on our baseball field. We're currently, I would say some of the bright spots in our season right now is that we have played up to 8 freshmen or sophomores in a game at any point in time this year. So we have a very young club, which is exciting. It can be tough at times because when you're 18, 19 years old going up against 22-year-olds, you know, that can be very challenging in itself. But we've got a great nucleus of young players. And as far as from a recruiting standpoint, as Joel mentioned earlier, we have had our signing day yesterday, and we've currently signed 16 players up to this point. And I would really like to thank the admissions staff for their help, especially Kathy. She's been great with that, and we are probably looking to add 6 to 10 more players for next year. So we've really been hitting the recruiting trail heavily. Our pitching staff has been a big bright spot for us this year. We're only losing 1 senior from our pitching staff, and we've got a really good overall staff with you know, a good mix of returners and young players. And having said that, I've got Drew Matrician with me today, who loves William Jewell so much he turned down an opportunity to go to graduate school at Georgetown University so he can come back and play 1 more year at William Jewell. Drew is currently 5-1 on the season with about a 2.8 ERA. So Drew Matrician.
All right. It's nice to see everybody. So yeah, like Coach said, I'm a left-handed pitcher, but I also get to hit a little bit when Coach puts me in the lineup. I haven't been hitting very well this year, but I got a hit the other day, so I think I'm turning it around. But we're focusing on the pitching standpoint for now. And yeah, like he said, we've got a lot of young guys, and I've been working with Dr. Bailey about coming back next year for my 5th year. So I'll be here for half a decade, which is kind of something special, but it's nice to be one of the first guys with the new requirements for a 5th year. And yeah, we'll have a young team, and Coach says we've got a lot of good recruits and a lot of young guys now. So I think if we keep working hard and get those young guys a little bit stronger and a little bit more comfortable out there on the field, we'll be doing big things. Yeah, I guess you can ask some questions. I played summer ball in Alaska last summer, and that was pretty exciting. I've talked to Rick Cole about that a little bit, but yeah. Oh, I'm a political science major, and I just added communication as my 2nd major. So, any questions?
Drew, tell everybody about the
oh, yeah, okay. So, in one of the few games where I actually got a hit and got on base, I was sliding into third base, and the third baseman decided he wasn't going to catch the ball, and it hit me in the face. So I had my foot on the base, and Coach Stockton was telling me, keep your foot on the base. But I knew I got hit in the face, so I was making sure I had all my teeth and my nose wasn't broken, but my lip was just flapping around. So Shay, our trainer, came out and we got me to the hospital and got some stitches, but I think it's turned out pretty well. So there's a nice little bump, but there's blood all over the field, so we cleaned that up. Any other questions? I'm not sure yet. I might try to defer admission for a year, but I figure I can always get my master's degree, go back to school, but playing with all these teammates that I know so well is really nice. And the day that I decided to come back, I kind of like saw some of the younger guys, and I was really happy that I get to keep playing with them. So maybe I'll wait a little bit for my master's degree. Well, the Alaska Baseball League is one of the top probably 3 summer baseball leagues. There's like the Cape Cod League in Alaska. And yeah, there's been some great like major league players come out of the Alaskan League. So I was on the Alaska Gold Painters in Fairbanks, and it's sunny 24/7 all summer. It's just like 70 degrees, sunny. It's perfect. And then yeah, so I don't know if you guys remember, like Dave Winfield played on the Gold Painters, and Tom Seaver. And then my coach up there was a legendary coach, Jim Dietz. He coached at San Diego State for 30 years and coached like Tony Gwynn and a bunch of guys. But yeah, the biggest thing about the Gold Painters is we play the Midnight Sun game, and it's like Sports Illustrated's like one of their top 10 baseball things you need to see. And basically the game starts at 11, and you just play all night, and there's no lights or anything. It's just sunny, and there was about 5,000 people there, so it was really cool. Yeah, I learned a lot. We had Tim Kelly was my pitching coach there, and he's coached at every level and scouted at every level. And yeah, I learned a lot about pitching. Yeah, it was great. Coach?
Who got to start the Midnight Sun game?
I got to start the Midnight Sun game. I walked the first 2 guys, and then the other team batted out of order, so they gave me an out. And then they hit a pop-up, and I didn't catch it. But I ended up doing fine, and I stayed in for 5 innings, and then we ended up getting the win. So it was fun, and it's a huge holiday in Fairbanks. They don't really celebrate. They celebrate the 4th of July. Don't get me wrong, but they love the summer solstice. So that's like a whole week of a holiday. My walkout song for pitching is "Wake Up" by Arcade Fire. Is that the song you're talking about? Or the batting walkout song? The one about the fresh. Coach Combs really likes my hitting walkout song because it's the Workaholics theme song. And it's a funny TV show. But yeah, that's about it.
Like everyone else, it's great to see everybody here. It's fun for me to sit back on days like this and just listen to all of our student athletes come up here and talk. And I'm reminded of how lucky we are as coaches to be associated with folks that at 18 through 22 years old can come up here and articulate themselves at an extremely high level. In fact, I want to go play for Coach Combs. So, Annalee, you did a great job on talking about Coach Combs' team. We may need to work on some Australian League football players to come up here and play for us, or you and I will need to get together on that. So the thing, and I got to meet her maybe the first day or second day she was on campus, and Coach Combs brought her around to everybody's office and introduced her, and she was telling me about Australian League football and all of those things, and she was wondering why that American football we didn't wear the short shorts, right? Isn't that the conversation we had? So I'm not sure our players would enjoy that, but maybe some other people in the stands would. Anyway, football-wise for us this spring, and Mike touched on it, and I feel for our spring coaches right now because the weather, as we all know, has been crazy, And Mike is right when he says that they've been on the turf as much as anybody, and that's good. That's a tough thing to be in with especially softball and baseball right now, not being able to get on fields and dry things out. But everybody's worked well in getting that figured out, and I'm excited for the success we're having in those areas. For us, this is the first spring in my years of coaching I've ever had to be a part of waiting for the snow to get off the field before we could actually have spring practice. So that was 2 different times this spring we had to do that, and then we've had this beautiful weather these last couple weeks to dodge some rain and some thunderstorms and all that good fun stuff. But all that said, it's been a tremendous spring. We've got a lot done with a very young team still. As I was telling some guys I was sitting with, that we'll probably only have 4 or 5 senior starters even next year. We're still going to be quite young, but the nice thing about our youth next year is because we were young last year and the year before, a lot of those have had to play. And so the experience and those things should start to show through, and excited about having our schedule done and put together. And this weekend we will have a scrimmage for about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes or so. We'll stretch at about 9:30. We'll start the scrimmage about 10 o'clock in the stadium, and we'll have a little golf outing in the afternoon, which will be a lot of fun. And then all kind of leading up for us to September 5th, Thursday night, September 5th next fall, which will be our home opener. And very excited about getting to that day. And I think it'll be exciting, leading into an exciting weekend on campus. I know they're doing the kind of the opening of the prior Learning Commons, the new Learning Commons on campus on Friday. So looking forward to hopefully seeing all of you out there for that. And if you're able to make it this weekend, I think it's actually supposed to be sunny and nice. So if you want to come out and enjoy a nice day, please do that. And then good luck to the rest of the spring sports as they finish out their seasons. Thanks.